Sanavabatu Sanau Phunaktu Sahaviriyam Karvavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihim. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Vedantasara of Sadananda Yogendra, quintessence of Vedanta. In our last class, we talked about creation, the gross manifestation of the universe. It comes from Punchikaranam, mixing with the 5 elements. No creation is possible without consciousness. Matter cannot produce matter. A chair cannot produce chair because it has no desire. And to have desire, you need a conscious principle. Human beings have desires, they create. And desire comes from ignorance. Without ignorance, there cannot be any desire. And without desire, there cannot be any action. So, ignorance is the source of whole creation. Does it sound good? This whole creation came from ignorance. In Vedantic tradition, there are 4 kinds of shatta. Shatta means, how shall I explain that word? Existence. Tuchya shatta, means a thing that does not exist at all. For example, son of a barren woman does not exist. Or castle in the air, it does not exist. Tuchya shatta, it does not exist at all. Vyavaharik shatta, empirical existence. This manifested universe we experience through the senses. We know they exist. This microphone exists, my glasses exist, my book exists. I can touch it, I can feel it, I can see it, I can hear it. And we can use it. The third kind of existence called Pratibhashik shatta, dream existence. When you see a dream, that dream is so real to you. But when dream breaks, we know that it was just dream, it is not real. So to an illumined soul, this whole universe is just like a dream. It is in the mind. Actually, it does not exist. It is hard to believe. My husband, my wife, my home, my family, they do not exist. They don't. But I talk, I behave, I act. That is true. It means it has a temporary, and it is not absolutely unreal. It has a relative reality. Please watch 2 words, absolute and relative. In absolute standpoint, they do not exist. Atman alone exists, pure consciousness. In name and form, this universe is nothing but name and form. They appear and disappear. They have momentary existence. I am giving you class, it is real, it is just right. But it has a relative existence, not absolute. Absolute existence when there is only one, there is no two. Where there are two, immediately we come into the realm of ignorance. Without ignorance, you cannot see two. Duality comes from ignorance. If you see two moons, that means your eyes are defective. Moon is always one. A double vision means there is something wrong. Ignorance. Fourth kind of sattva is called paramarthik sattva, absolute existence. That is the Atman, Brahman. That we are going to talk tonight. The limit of superimposition. I shall not read Sanskrit, just read the English. The sum total of the gross, subtle and causal worlds, it is passage 118. The sum total of the gross, subtle and causal worlds makes a vast universe, as the sum total of a smaller forests makes a vast forest, or a collection of smaller lakes makes a vast expanse of water. Having explained before how the different aggregates are formed from the individual comprised in each, the text now explains how a higher aggregate is formed out of those very aggregates. You remember when Sadananda Yogendra, the author of this book, explained the causal creation, causal bodies, subtle bodies, and the gross bodies. He gave an analogy with two things. One is the forest and a lake, reservoir. What is forest? A forest is nothing but sum total of millions of trees. What is water? Lake? It is nothing but sum total of millions of drops of water. So all these individual beings which you see around, are really connected with that cosmic being. Vedantic expression, do you know how do they say? Sarvata pani padam tat sarvata ukshi shirumukam sarvata shrutimal lauke sarvam avritta satishtati sahasra tirsha purusha sahasraksha sahasrapat sabhumim vishwatu vitva attatishta dashangulam. Sahasra shirsha purushas, that Purusha, that Supreme Being, has millions of heads, millions of hands, millions of eyes, millions of feet. He hears through all ears, he sees through all eyes. This is the idea of that cosmic being. His eyes are everywhere, his ears are everywhere. With his 2 feet, he encompassed the whole universe. That is the way the seers of truth visualize that cosmic being. His one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon. His head is blazing fire. His speech is the Vedas. His breath is this whole universe. That is the way they imagine the cosmic being. My teacher used to say, when we try to imagine that cosmic being, do you know what will happen? We'll be scared to death. Can you hug a man whose one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon? You will be scared to death. For that reason we love man God, Christ, Buddha, Krishna, Ramakrishna, so that we can embrace, we can communicate, we can love, we can express our feelings. Cosmic being, it is very difficult. Consciousness associated with these from Vaishvanara to Ishvara is also one and the same, as the space enclosed by a number of smaller forests is the same as the enclosed by the big forest of which they form part, or as the sky reflected in different smaller lakes is the same as that reflected in the vast expanse of water which they form. Sadananda Yogendra is trying to conclude this chapter saying that, look, I explained to you what is in the cosmic plane, and I explained to you what is in individual plane. Here is Brahman, here is the Atman, here is Ishvara God, here is Prajna, here is Hiranyagarbha, sum total of the subtle bodies, here is Teijasa, individual subtle body, here is Virat, the cosmic body of the universe of God, here is Vishwanara and Vishwa. Vishwa means the individual gross body. Individual gross body, cosmic gross body. Individual subtle body, cosmic subtle body. Individual causal body, cosmic causal body. In this way, he was trying to connect all of us with God. We are all the time connected with God, but we are unaware of it. His whole motive is to awaken your consciousness, to make you understand who you are. You are the Atman. You are neither the body, not the mind, not the senses. That he is going to now, after finishing this, he will discuss the concept of the Atman, how people think about the self. That we are coming. Today we shall discuss part of it. Adhyam mahaprapancha upohito chaitanyabhyam taptayo pindavat aviviktam sat anupitam chaitanyam sarvam kullividam brahma iti mahavakyasya vachyam bhavati viviktam sa laksham api bhavati. Consciousness unassociated with any adjuncts whatsoever, when not discriminated like the red-hot iron ball from the vast universe, and the consciousness associated with it becomes a direct import of the great Vedic dictum. All this is verily Brahman. And when discriminated from them, it becomes the implied meaning of that text. I read the translation. I know that most of you could not follow what I said. Do you know why? That is the beauty of Vedanta. Sometimes reading, it does not strike. For the reason we need a teacher. Try to understand this way. Here is a piece of iron rod. It is cold, black. You put that iron rod into the burning charcoal and pull the bellows as the blacksmiths do. Within 15 minutes, that iron rod will be red hot iron. Then you can give any shape you like. You can make a knife, you can make a razor, you can make anything, whatever you want. Now that redness and heat, these two things came to that iron rod because of the association of the fire. That is not the natural property of iron. Redness, no. And that heat also, no. It came from the association. So the teacher, Vedanta teacher, is telling you, do you know why? Sometimes when people come to me, I give them this illustration. I said, you know, will you obey me? 15 minutes you connect your mind with God. You will not die, I assure you. Your mind will be luminous. The moment your mind becomes luminous, do you know what will happen? Your 6 hidden enemies will die. In every mind, there are 6 hidden enemies. Lust, anger, jealousy, ego, greed, pride, these things, instantly they die because they cannot bear the heat. They love darkness, ignorance. For that reason, in the various layers of this mind, you will find your 6 hidden enemies are living with you. The moment mind becomes luminous, you see the thing right. Your decision becomes right. You know your shortcomings, your weaknesses. You know your good side, your bad side, everything you know. That is the main focus for meditation. Why should I meditate? Just to kill your enemies which are disturbing you all the time. They are hidden inside your mind and giving you all kinds of trouble. So Vedanta teaches that, as you see this fire and this iron rod are together, similarly this whole cosmos which you see and that pure consciousness are saturated. They call it Tadatma Sambandha. Sambandha, relationship, is also of various kinds. Tadatma, consciousness of oneness. They become unified. That iron rod and the fire, when they become unified, it becomes, the moment you touch it, your hands will burn. If somebody asks you that how did you burn your hand? Well, that iron rod burned my hand. Iron rod cannot burn your hand. It does not have that power. It is the heat, fire, that burnt your hand, not the iron rod. Well, a hot pan, the pan burnt my hand. The kitchen pan cannot burn your hand. It is the heat associated with that pan burnt your hand. Remember, this consciousness associated with this body-mind organism made us individual being. That consciousness is behind. That consciousness is God. Sometimes Western people think, Swami, Hindus have so many gods and goddesses. Of course we have gods. We have 33 million. We need some more. Do you know why do they have these symbols of gods and goddesses? Those who are gross-minded people, they need a symbol to love, to communicate. How many people understand I and my father are one? Not one among millions. That is also Christ's teachings. I and my father are one. It is not so easy. Sadananda Yogendra is trying to establish his statement by quoting a verse, a line from Chandogya Upanishad. The name of that section is called Shandilya Vidya. There was a sage named Shandilya. His teachings was Sarvam Khallu Idam Brahma Tajjalan Iti Shantam Upasita. That is his teaching. Sarvam Khallu, everything verily is Brahman. Tat Ja La on. From that Brahman, this creation evolved. In Brahman, this creation is sustained. In Brahman, this whole creation merges. Try to meditate on Brahman in that way. He did not reject anything. He took this whole universe, this whole manifestation as Brahman. There is a little bit, those who have read the Western philosophy, they call it pantheism. Pantheism means, God is in, everything, the chair is God, carpet is God, book is God, everything is God. It is not that. Vedanta says panentheism, that God is in everything. When I say Sarvam Khallu Idam Brahman, that doesn't mean this chair is Brahman. It is the consciousness. Behind that chair is Brahman. Again, please let me explain to you another thing. Sadananda Yogendra mentioned here, Upadhi. Do you know what Upadhi means? Upadhi means adjunct. Here is a crystal. Here is a red hibiscus. The moment red hibiscus comes near the crystal becomes red color. Blue, it becomes blue color. Green, it becomes green color. Whatever color you brings near the crystal takes that color. But crystal actually is colorless. That is called upadhi, adjunct, attributes. The moment you bring here, immediately it takes that color. Your consciousness is taking similarly. I am a man, I am a woman, I am an American, I am an Indian, I am learned, I am not unlettered, I am rich, I am poor. All these things, this is all called adjuncts, attributes on that crystal. Actually, you are that pure crystal. You are that Atman. And all this man, woman, weakness, I am this, I am that, all these, that are all superimposed on that Atman. And you are acting, behaving like this. Our teacher used to say, here is John. In this particular drama, he was acting as a king. Same John in the next drama acted like an emperor, or like a soldier, or a dancer, or a musician. The same person is acting in different dramas, in different roles, but it is our same John. So all these human beings you are seeing, it is same Atman acting, behaving in different roles. It is amazing. Here is a man. He is husband to his wife. He is father to his son. He is a son to his parents. He is a brother to his sister. He is a friend to his friend. Same man, we are focusing from different levels, from different angles. Sarvam khalvidam tat jalan. Sometimes we used to repeat this one very often. Do you know why? It comes to mind very fast. Shantam upashita. Be quiet, be calm. Why are you so restless? Why are you so angry? Why are you so upset? Everything is Brahman. The whole creation came from Brahman, remains in Brahman, merges in Brahman. I am Brahman. My enemy is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. How Brahman can be mad with Brahman? See how this philosophy works. Swami Brahmananda was telling his disciples, Swami Prabhavananda told me, I was with Swami Prabhavananda in Hollywood from 1971 to 76. He died in 76. He used to tell me many stories about Swami Brahmananda. Swami Brahmananda used to say, when I am in a higher plane of consciousness, I see you boys are manifestations of God. I see you, God. At that time, I have no desire to teach. How God can teach God? I have no desire to teach. For the reason I keep quiet. When my mind comes down in the lower plane, at that time I see your ignorance, your shortcomings, your weaknesses. At that time I give instruction. Don't do that, do this way. Don't do that, do this way. I had to bring my mind down to your plane to correct you. What a beautiful teaching. In the higher plane I see, I cannot differentiate between you and all. I see God seated in front of me. I cannot teach, so I keep quiet. When we hear these things, at that time we understand what is called true spirituality. And you go to some church and the sermons, charismatic speaker pounding and just table as if he want to overturn the whole world. It does not work that way. It is not easy to change a person's life. If you force it, it will break. Religion should not be forced. Spirituality cannot be forced. Slowly, slowly, hunger will come, and slowly, slowly you will be transformed. If you are a person like Ramakrishna, within 3 days you can finish your whole spiritual journey. But we are not Ramakrishna or Christ. We are human beings. We must start our journey from where we are. We have various kinds of shortcomings, weaknesses, bad samaskaras. Through holy company, through meditation, through spiritual study, we shall change. We shall change. That is the way it works. Some people will advertise within 3 months. You will be illumined. Send me $10,000 check in advance and come to my retreat and have registration. One of my friends, he used to come here. One of his mentors says, "You come and just stay here for $10,000, room and board, shop, everything I shall give you. Please come and stay with me." It is not so easy. Consciousness unassociated with any adjuncts whatsoever, when not discriminated like the red-hot iron ball from the vast universe with the consciousness associated with it, becomes the direct import of the great Bhakti dictum. All this is verily Brahman. And when discriminated from them, it becomes the implied meaning of that text. As I told you, that when we use the words, it has 2 kinds of meaning. Direct meaning, implied meaning. If I say St. Louis is on the Mississippi River, what does it mean? Does the St. Louis city float on the Mississippi River? No. St. Louis city is on the bank of the Mississippi River. That is the implied meaning. But the direct meaning, our St. Louis is on the Mississippi River. That means St. Louis city is floating on the Mississippi River. That is the direct meaning, and this is implied meaning. When the teacher says, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, everything is Brahman. Everything means my chair, table, my books, my food, my refrigerator, my car. All these things are Brahman. These things are all adjuncts, attributes on Brahman. The consciousness behind this manifestation of this universe and the absolute reality, these two are the same. Very difficult to differentiate. Do you know why? Because millions of lives, chit, jad, granthi, consciousness and unconsciousness are tied in our buddhi. That buddhi, that intellect is firmly believes that I am Chetanananda, this body, mind, organism. I know Chetanananda means this. It is hard to believe this is not Chetanananda. It is the consciousness. That is the reality. That is the real nature of Chetanananda. Chetanananda is a name and a form. It was born one day, it will die one day. All these bodies are born and will die. But your consciousness is imperishable. That Vedanta will remind you again and again. Do you know why? So that you learn how to separate yourself from the body, mind, organism. Then what will happen? Na priya pris prishata. Nothing will bother you. You will never be hurt. Nobody can give you pain. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful illustration. You have seen coconut, hard shell. When it dries up, inside that kernel, if you shake, you will find inside is something moving. When you break the shell, the coconut, that kernel, does not get any pain because it is separated from the shell. But when it is raw, when you heat it, kernel also can feel it. Similarly, if you learn how to differentiate between your Atman, pure consciousness, with body, mind, organism, that is called a real spirituality. Do you know what does it mean? It means you live in the spirit, not in the body. Na priya pri sprishataha, a good and evil, a public criticism, slander, all these things, nothing can touch you. People may tell you stupid, or people may worship you as God. Nothing will affect you at all. Your I consciousness is that time is not connected with body mind. It is connected with the Atman. I am Brahman. I and my Father are one. That we want to learn. Really, that is the goal. If somebody cut your sweater, do you get pain? You don't. So this body is just like a sweater of you, of the Atman, of the soul. If I have a little pain here or a little headache, I cannot meditate. Just see how much body conscious we are. Dehosthopi adehostho. You will be very spiritual. You will be truly spiritual when in body you will feel that you have no body. You will fly. You will float in bliss. About Atman, among the Indian philosophers also have various views. Mimamsa, Vaisheshik, Nayayik. There are 6 types of philosophy in India. Mimamsa school, the ritualists, Vaisheshika, they are the atomists. Nayayikas, logicians, they believe Atman exists. But Atman is not conscious, Atman is not blissful either. Sankhya and Yoga school believe Atman exists, Atman is conscious. Only Vedanta believes Atman exists, Atman is consciousness, and Atman is blissful. Existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. I told you, please try to visualize that aspect. It will help you. You are Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Your existence aspect is not covered by Maya. Ignorance cannot cover your existence. Do you know why? Because you know you exist. You won't find any human being who says, I do not exist. You really exist. You cannot deny your existence. Second, about consciousness, you know that you are conscious, but you do not have that full consciousness of the Atman. But you know you are a conscious human being, you function, you drive a car, you eat, you sleep, you talk. The third aspect, problem is in the third aspect, that aspect is hidden, your bliss aspect. Your bliss aspect is hidden. For the reason most people in this world are miserable, unhappy. Why? Because the bliss aspect is hidden. Spiritual disciplines will help us to unveil that bliss aspect. Jiva and superimposition, the Charvakas. Idanim pratyagatmani idam ayam aropayuti iti visheshata uchati. Now will be considered in particular how people variously superimposed on the innermost self such ideas as I am this, I am this. Sadananda Yogendra says that so far you remember I told you my method of teaching Vedanta, superimposition and de-superimposition. First I told you how this your consciousness has been covered by the 5 sheaths of the soul: blissful sheath, intellectual sheath, mental sheath, vital sheath, and the physical sheath. Now I am trying to tell you how to de-superimpose yourself, how to remove those veils one after another. Now I am going to tell you, Sadananda Yogendra says, that the concept of the Atman of different kinds of people in this world. Charvaka, the horrible materialists. Do you know what is their teaching? Eat, drink, and be merry. When you die, body will be ashes. Just enjoy as much as you can. If you do not have money, borrow from your friends, because you will not have to pay back, you see. When you will not have to pay your debt, just take bank loan and just enjoy as much as you can. They believe in one birth theory. Just make yourself happy. Trayo vedasya kartaro bhanjo dhurto nishachara. Did you know that is their philosophy? The people, those who wrote these Vedas, they are all hypocrites, thieves, cheat. Don't trust the scripture. Trust us. We are just enjoy. Money, sex, everything, enjoy, day and night, and then die. Finish. That is their philosophy. Enjoyment is the goal. Sometimes we are so delusional. In Laguna Beach, there is a nursing home. So I heard one of our devotees was there. He had AIDS, in Hollywood devotee. He was a makeup man in the CBS television station. I went to see him. He's a very nice man. I do not know how he got that horrible disease. I asked, do you have any desire so that I can buy for you? Swami, could you buy some pastry for me? So I went to the Pacific Coast Highway. I do not have any car. So I moved around in that beach area and bought some pastry and brought to him. Seeing me, he burst into tears. I could not recognize him. And he showed that his next bed, that fellow died last night, Swami, see. My friend died see the flowers. And he also died very shortly. I was watching when a person, does this kind of, leads this kind of life, they're so deluded, confused, do not know what they are doing. Karma, law of karma. Pratak, Vishishana. Vishishana, now from the cosmic, we discussed the cosmic aspect of superimposition. Now we are going to talk about the particular aspect of superimposition. Uti prakitostu atma vai jayate putra itadi shruti swasmin eva putryopi prema darshanat putre pushte naste chahameva pushtu nastu cha iti ityadi anubhavat cha putra atme iti vadati. Thus, for example, an extremely deluded man speaks of his son as his own self, on account of such Shruti passages as, "Verily, the self is born as the son," owing also to the fact that one loves one's son as one's own self, and further, because of the experience that one feels oneself prosperous or ruined according as one's son fares well or ill. Three kinds of proofs are given above: scriptural evidence, inference, and direct perception. The real significance, however, of the passage quoted here is that son is very dear to oneself. Vedantic discussion goes in three ways. First, Shruti. First, it will quote the scripture. Second, Yukti, reason. Third, experience. So first he quoted the scripture, Atma Vai Putra Jayate. From, the devils quote the scriptures to fulfill his own purpose. So this person is the, hey, Atma Vai Jayate, Atman, my son is my Atman. He found a passage somewhere in the Upanishad or some the Vedas, so he quoted it. And you see, people love their children, their son. If the son is sick, he thinks I am sick. If the son is well, he feels I am the well. But his whole consciousness is on the self, on the son. That means the Atman is outside from you. That is the first school. They are very gross-minded people. I read in Anne Langer's column, one girl wrote to Anne Langer's, "My boyfriend loves his car more than he loves me." And that car is his Atma. I have a friend, he has a boat in Laguna. His wife says, "Swami, my husband loves his boat than he loves me." He will spend so much time for his boat and paint it and make it nice, and then he will drive. One day he offered, "Swami, do you like to go to Catalina Island? I can drive you." Now he sold that boat. Anyhow. Some people think that way. If there is a little paint goes away from the car, you get pain. Oof, somebody took away some part of my skin, You have a fancy, perhaps Mercedes, if there is any, if a window or anything has a little crack or somebody breaks, something, you feel pain. Oof, oof. That car pain comes to you. That means your soul is in the car. It happens, really. I saw some people like that. My wife is my soul, you see. Wife says, "My husband is my Atman." That means what Sadananda Yogendra wants to say, that don't think that Atman is outside. He will take our minds 8 stages. First, my son is the Atman. Second, body is the Atman. Third, my senses are the Atman. Fourth, the prana is the Atman. Fifth, my mind is the Atman. Sixth, my buddhi, intellect is the Atman. Seventh, the consciousness and unconsciousness mixed is the Atman. At last, it will say what is the real Atman. In the 9th or 10th stage, step by step, it will take you to that, the real Atman. Do you know why do they do that, this type of discussion? It is called Arundhati Nyaya. If I tell you, do you see that Arundhati star? You say, which one you are talking about, Swami? If I say, could you see that branch of a tree? Well, yes. Above the tree, do you see the moon? Yes. From next to the moon, do you see that 7 stars? Like a question mark, 7 stars? Well, yes. Do you see big that star? Do you see that corner, which is near the tail, that star? Yes. Near that star, do you see a tiny star? Yes. That is called Arundhati star. When first I shall have to draw your attention to the gross, gross to the subtle, subtle to the subtler, subtler to the subtlest. That is the way Vedanta teachers work. It will take your mind to that ultimate reality which is beyond the senses, beyond the intellect, beyond the mind. Slowly, slowly, step by step, we shall have to go. Body is the Atman. चार्वाकस्तु सवाईश पुरुषु अन्नुर समया इत्यादि श्रुति प्रदीप्तो गृहात् स्वपुत्रं परित्यज्योपि स्वस्य निर्गम दर्शनात् स्थूलो अहम कृशो अहम इत्यादि अनुभवाच्च स्थूलो शरीरम आत्मेति वदति. One school of Charvakas. Charvaka, do you know what Charvaka means? Charu means beautiful. Vak means talk, speech. The people who speak very sweet things, beautiful things. Charvaka is a disciple of Brihaspati, who is the guru of the gods. It is called Lokayata Darshana. But there are some people in this world, very gross people. Teach them this philosophy. Why? Gradually they will understand that this body is not real. First let them concentrate on the body. So he is quoting from Taittiriya Upanishad, Savaisha Purushu Anna Rasamaya Sapriyameva Shiraham. Those mantras are so beautiful. This Purusha, that being, the self, is Anna Rasamaya. Is made out of Anna, food. Rasa means juice, food and water. This whole human system is made with food and water. Ittadi Shruti. This body is the Atman. Did you not see sometimes your house caught fire? Your child is inside the house. To save your own life, leaving this child, you ran away and saved yourself. That we see. That you see. That is the reason that my son is not the Atman. My body is the Atman. To protect my body, I even leave my wife and children in the house. And they jump from the roof. I know I cannot save my wife and children. If my life is saved, everybody loves his own body. We know it from the experience. And the third, that is yukti, reason. Anubhav, krishu aham, I am fat, I am lean. This is kind of experience. So when we have a connection with body, we feel it. I am fat, I am lean. Body is the Atman. Most people feel that way. 99% people, if not more. The author describes the different views held regarding the nature of the self. Each succeeding view is less crude and comes nearer the mark than the preceding one. Ultimately, all the views are refuted, and the real nature of the self is set forth in the Vedanta, is established. I shall tell you a very brief story from the Chandogya Upanishad. Indra, the king of the gods, and Virochana, the king of the demons, heard that the creator, Prajapati, announced that if you know the Atman, you will be immortal. So both came to Prajapati and asked, Sir, we have come to you. Please teach us about the Atman. Prajapati, creator, said to them, You practiced spiritual disciplines under my guidance for 32 years. After 32 years, both Indra and Virochana came to Prajapati. Prajapati said, "Oh, you want to know the Atman? All right." At that time there was no mirror, so he brought a big bowl of water and placed in front of them and said, "Now you see whatever you see on your eyes, that is the Atman." So 32 years these two people did not shave, did not cut their nails. 32 years if you do not cut your nails, no beard, no hair, all that. And then in the Virochana saw his face and body, and whatever you see, that is the Atman. Virochana grows mind, grows intellect, so he thought body is the Atman. He went to his folk and said, "This body is the Atman. Eat, drink and be merry." Indra also saw, he also left. Thinking that body is the Atman, he came back again and asked Prajapati, "How body can be the Atman? Body dies." Prajapati said, "I am glad that you have come back." Practiced another 32 years spiritual disciplines and asked me questions. 64 years passed. Prajapati again brought a bowl of water and said, "Look, what do you see?" This time he did not see the body, he saw his mind. Mind is the Atman. Again he says, mind has ups and downs. Mind fluctuates. So how can the mind be the Atman? So again he raised question. Prajapati said, "I am glad that you understood." Another 32 years, practice spiritual disciplines. 96 years passed. Indra came and said, again he put that water in front of him. "What do you see?" This time he saw buddhi, his intellect, which is the meeting point of consciousness and non-consciousness. Well, I think buddhi, intellect is the Atman. All right, this time concession, another 5 years. So after 101 years, Indra realized what is the true Atman. Most people, we say that we are all descendants of Virochana. What is the Atman? Ask me questions, please. Next class will be very interesting. We shall see the evolution of the concept of the Atman. Ignorance, you see, can we divide ignorance? Cosmic ignorance, Maya, can it be divided? It is just like a space. Can you divide a space? Space has no form. But we say it is room space, kitchen space, bathroom space, jar space, cup space, bowl space. We use that word space, but actually you cannot divide it. Similarly, this ignorance is a mysterious phenomenon. How can we get rid of this ignorance? Meditate. When I say meditate, think of the iron rod, red hot iron rod. If the iron rod if you keep in the fire for 15 minutes, it will be red hot. Keep your mind in God, it will be luminous. Masatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mritturma amritam gamaya, abiravirma yedi rudra jate dakshinamukam, tinamam pahi nityam, om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality, light us through and through.